Hello.
Hello.
Back. Hi.
We're back.
And Sophie's back.
I'm here. I don't work on I'm like whatever day it is of the week. Yay. Um I am back and I really liked you guys' recap of the hearing.
Thank you. That I find Idaho incredibly difficult to talk about because there's just so many holes in the
Hey
case that there's
Ducky.
so many high high temperature feelings around it too. So you just want to be so careful that you're not stepping on landmines by basically stating a fact that someone's just gonna freak out about.
Oh yeah, or like I hear it and my head processes it and then I hear it again because I'll like listen three, 4 times, like is that did I hear that right? What am I listening to? And then I'll sometimes I'll even repeat what they said and not repeat it correctly. And then that I mean, like you guys are like, well, we no big deal. But I don't want to be like, this is how it is. This is the truth right here, straightforward, straight truth.
Big time. Oh hey Ducky, how are you?
So many rumors, Ducky. It's true. And I noticed there's Ashley and I were talking about the clickbait stuff. There's so much clickbait
Ah,
of like that's not even remotely. I saw a title on a thumbnail today, and I wish now I don't not even remember what it was, but it was bad. It was definitely 100%
it's
not
so bad.
whatever the title was.
It's so bad, and I feel so ashamed because I literally used to only watch those shows. I actually clicked on I'll just say it, Harsh Reality. It's not like we're a big channel, so whatever. But Harsh Reality, he was kind of dogging on people who follow Law and Crime or News Nation's facts, and I'm like, well,
What?
what facts are we really supposed to be following?
Yeah.
Because he was saying,
Where do
he's
we
not
draw
a
the line?
stargazer, and that's not the alibi, and if you're not thinking that these roommates are suspect, then you need to check your thinking. And I'm I don't know. I kind of feel like these poor women, they're literally teens or in their early 20s and thrown into a quadruple homicide, and I don't call for their instant like arrests. I think that that is terrible, and I hate that that's on the internet for them. I just feel like that's so irresponsible, and I really hope that they fucking sue people.
Yeah. Yeah, after 100%, absolutely. It's funny because it's hard. It's hard to watch and see all the things. Like I have facts. I've got facts. There's facts directly in front of me, and I can go by what I see in court and the court documents. But even if I am, Joe, anybody, if I'm a juror, if I'm a citizen, whatever, I'm like, oh, I can only intake so much information that's true and that's like viable in court, like
Right.
just because something sounds interesting, like, oh, there's drugs involved. Well, like, I mean, prove it. Is there paperwork? Did the drug dealer get arrested? Is there a drug dealer in court? Like, tell me more.
Yeah, and why aren't the police following up on that incredible lead then, you know? How are you,
Yeah.
Eric? We're talking lots,
Uh,
but you can
I'm
hear
good.
you
I
breathing.
was
We know
just.
you're
I
alive.
don't know. I'm good. I don't know. I'm gonna let Idaho go to court. I'm not gonna comment on Idaho.
Yeah, for sure.
No comment. I
Good
like
call.
it.
You don't want the comments, eh?
The wrath.
Ducky, you got a few comments. I saw that. That's
I
cool.
said what I said
Love
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Ducky saw that. Ducky saw that he looked thin, whatever. Yeah, and that's kind
Hmm.
of sad because, like, dude, he is in court. I gotta ask my buddy. One of my buddies has been in the jail here. I didn't ask why, but he told me he would tell me about like what it's like in there. I want to know what he ate.
Yeah,
I
big
gotta
time.
ask.
Yeah.
I'm like, I should text him right now. It's only almost 1 a.m. I'm sure he'd like that. I should text
Yeah.
him and be like, "What'd you eat when you were in jail? However many years ago?"
Let's go back to your trauma.
Yeah, remember that one time? Sure, you loved it. Yeah, no, I think it'd be. I think that. I think it's kind of funny because I'd bring this stuff up with him, and he actually was the first who talked about that because, um, I'm sure the food's not good, and he's vegetarian, right? So like, or is he vegan even? It'd be
He's
pretty hard
vegan.
pressed to
Yeah.
be eating whatever sandwiches. I don't know if they give you in jail. I'm assuming it's kind
I
of
think
like
it'd be a lot of soy, a lot of beans, a
oh
lot
yeah.
of
They
peanut
give you
butter.
bologna and bread. I was in jail overnight.
Oh yeah. Is that
Yeah,
real? Is that real jail food? Bologna and bread, like a slice of bread and a
that,
slice of bologna.
that's what I got.
Mm. Mm.
Hmm.
Is that what you got after like some other people picked apart your sandwich, or was
No,
that like
I was
what?
lucky enough to have my own. I know people. I had my own cell.
Oh.
Ballin'.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow. So we're doing a recap tonight. We are
Yeah.
recapping Karen Reed. We are recapping brand new Diddy stuff. We're recapping brand new Kouri Richins stuff. We're
Mm-hmm.
recapping Eric's Long Island missing girl story and some Blake
Diddy
Lively, right?
and Diddy.
Yeah, I threw Diddy in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I didn't. I just. He's just blown up. Is the hard part.
Yeah, he has
It
really
is.
good lawyers who are going to keep this on the front page with a lot of questions at all times, I think. Throwing shade.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. I think that's their job. That's the lawyers' jobs. Should we talk
Oh,
about Blake first?
Blake
Is that what's in
Lively,
there? Ducky?
Ducky, the Blake Lively gag order and her civil suit that is going to be under question.
Tell us all about it.
Me? Tell us
Yeah.
all about it? Do we have a video for that?
Oh, that is the video we have for it. I'll pull it up. Yeah.
Yeah, we have
the video.
We have a video, and then we can discuss maybe.
Sounds good.
There's a lot of new stuff about it. It's really popular on TikTok. There's a lot of, she really did put out a lot of information and then wasn't really expecting Justin to come back with some receipts. So we've got a lot to discuss on that one. I think we'll be quick, though. It's not really true crime, but it is kind of an interesting case and civil case. Could result in a lot of money.
She outed herself.
She did what?
She outed herself. But we'll get into it. I got a whole thing on it.
All right. All right, let's watch this. Eventually.
This ends with me. I'm done. I'm tired.
We'll just do like our lips are right next to each other.
But I think you should start talking.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Still rolling.
Don't give it to them. They want it. Don't give it to
They
them.
score.
Just
Right.
keep restraint.
Yeah.
Blake's legal team says every frame of the nearly 10-minute-long slow dance scene is damning and corroborates Blake's claims she was harassed, pointing out there was no intimacy coordinator on set.
I'm not getting beard on you today.
I'm probably getting spray tan on you.
It smells good.
Well, it's not that. It's my body makeup.
Quote, the video shows Ms. Lively leaning away and repeatedly asking for the characters to just talk. Any woman who has been inappropriately touched in the workplace will recognize Ms. Lively's discomfort.
This is on the mark. And I think the light is Oh, okay.
The latest development, ET obtained this request from Blake and her husband Ryan Reynolds, both named in Justin's $400 million lawsuit. They want a protective gag order on Justin's lawyer, Brian Friedman, as he vowed to make a website to drop more receipts.
The fact that Blake Lively is asking for a gag order kind of infers she's a little bit nervous about Badoni coming out with this evidence.
All right, cut. I think we got plenty.
Yes.
Slow motion. It's going to be a 17-minute reel.
Of course, the internet is divided. One person writing, Justin came with receipts to deliver an absolute kill shot. Another commenting, Blake looked like she wanted to run so far away in those moments. And then there's this comment. Two things can be true. Blake is an entitled mean girl. Justin Badoni is one of those fake feminists.
Remember, there are two different fights going on right now. There's the legal fight in the courtroom, and then there is the PR fight in the public arena, which is really more important to each of them.
The video also provides perspective on Justin's claims Blake nose-shamed him, saying he should get plastic surgery.
I feel so nosy.
I know.
And
My nose is so big.
Yes, I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that.
Yeah.
And then
God.
just kidding.
Of course, reaction is mixed. She makes the nose comment to get him away from her. Another claiming apparently he's been insecure about his nose his whole life.
No, it's true. That's why we hired Jenny Slate too. Our nose is good.
Can I help you? Can I help you?
Jenny Slate, who plays Justin's sister in the movie, said last month that she's standing by Blake. What has been revealed about the attack on Blake is terribly dark, disturbing, and wholly threatening. I admire her bravery.
I was really eager to work with Blake, but to really make a friend, I'm just so grateful for this sweet person.
The big question is, can their brands, their images survive this lawsuit? I think at the end of this, both parties are going to wish this never happened and they never aired their dirty laundry.
Okay.
No, we're like, oh my God.
All right.
Eric, you've got a bunch on this. Let's hear it from you and then we'll chime in.
Well, I'm gonna go to like the newest stuff that just came out, like the 2 a.m. voicemail
Oh, yeah.
that he sent to her, kind of like being all nice and like I guess burying the hatchet.
At 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Do you
it's
want to
this-
like preface that by like what like her text message to him? Because like she sent him like a crazy long text message.
Yeah.
Wasn't that after that though?
No, he was
No.
responding with the voice note.
Oh no, I didn't see that one then. I heard the 2 a.m. one. You want to start with that? Like,
Well, she texted him some like long blathering message. She wanted her scene to rewrite the scene, right? And she was like,
So
I don't
awkward.
I'm gonna do that, but I'll bow to you because I feel like a lot of what I heard him saying was, I'm the director, you're the money maker.
Right.
So I am going to bow to you for little things like stupid shit. Like I want to wear whatever clothes I want to wear, writer she was doing before. But like
Yeah.
rewriting the script is kind of difficult because it's her book. It's already a book, so it's been written into a screenplay from the book. So it's gonna be hard to mess with that anyway. But I mean, I'm not her. I did not realize she's that big of a starlet. That he
She's
was
not, and I think
She's not.
that's what really like set me off about her text is that her text to him at like 1:30 in the morning included her talking directly about her A-list husband Ryan Reynolds and her A+ list best friend Taylor Swift and calling them her
Dragons.
what did she call her?
Dragons.
Oh yeah, that was
Yes.
weird. That was
So
weird.
because she dropped those names and also was making like insane requests, I think he felt the need to not only send the voice note, but also to apologize to her and almost like take ownership of things that he probably didn't need to take ownership of and like really just feel intimidated by her using like a clan of Hollywood people instead of her just saying her preferences and being professional. What do you think, Eric? You talking about the voice
Yeah,
note?
exactly. Yeah. She just used her clout,
Yeah.
from her husband and Taylor Swift, and he gave in because they could ruin him. I guess Taylor Swift could ruin his career.
Well,
You
and
know?
her husband. I mean, he's pretty big for. I mean, that's anybody Marvel, right?
Well, it's the next part that really is the crazy part. Where that she invites him over, and when she writes the scene, well, she supposedly writes the scene and tells him she writes the scene, and she never wrote the scene. Ryan wrote it.
Weird.
Yeah, so he's named in the $400 million lawsuit too. I mean, I think the lawyer was like bang on in that video by saying like this is a lose-lose situation for everybody. Like I don't think Taylor Swift wants her name in this. I don't think Ryan Reynolds is going to benefit from his name being in this. And I think that this is just another example of what happens when Hollywood people think they're so fucking important. Like this movie was supposed to be about domestic violence and learning from it and honoring it. That's what the book was about. And I
Right.
feel so bad for the original author of the book. The fact that this story, this stupid story about Blake Lively feeling like she's getting too many kisses in a scene where it's like calling for kisses, has like overrode such an important topic as like domestic violence. Like that book is actually a really good book, and it's a really important topic. And these dumb idiots from Hollywood like ruin basically everything important and just make it like a vanity thing. It's so annoying.
I
That's my
agree.
take.
Well,
Yeah.
she comes out and says that Ryan wrote the scene too.
I know, but like the overarching feeling that I get is the fact that like these idiots are literally making this whole big thing about themselves. It's like, who cares? At the end of the day, you're an actress, he's an actor. There's a director. I mean, I'm sure there's like some weirdness on all sides. I wouldn't like to get a voice note at like 2 a.m. from a dude like being all like creepy and stuff like that. But she's like super creepy too. So I just feel like they're just an idiot bunch of people, and they all deserve to lose.
And they should,
Yeah.
and they should never work with each other again.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it sucks for Taylor that she's involved, but I guess having a best friend that's going to drop your name on dumb stuff like this, it's like maybe think twice, right? I thought
Yeah.
Selena Gomez was her best friend, but Selena Gomez is also in the news for crazy reasons, but we won't talk about that because that's politics.
Look, I don't know. I don't know how any of them are anybody's best friend if they're all gonna like backstab the shit out of each other.
Maybe they're all on the Epstein list. We won't even have to talk about them next week.
Oh, oh,
Well,
I'm like, I'm laughing, but it's possible.
but
So what
is
else
that
do we
a?
got? What else is in our recaps?
I got a question about this. One more thing.
Okay, yeah.
So is her saying that he wrote the scene? Can that in court? Could that be a problem? That saying Ryan Reynolds wrote the scene because she straight out said it. It's not like
Oh, 100% Ducky. They do all sound so shallow. I don't know, Eric. I don't think this goes to court. Come on.
for the money that's suing for, it's got to go to court.
I think it would be an issue just like in general, him being so involved, like it would be an intimidation factor for sure. I don't know exactly how that works when you're actually coming and working off of a book that is done in a particular way, and then you've got Ryan Reynolds making his like artistic decisions about it. It seems kind of weird, but apparently he has that background of being a little bit heavy-handed, so I don't know.
But it's not his movie, though. That's got to be a breach of contract.
It does have to be a breach. Well, I mean,
It does. He's not the director. He has nothing to do with it. He's her husband.
look, he's
I'm
not. He didn't write the screenplay either. You know.
But he wrote the scene.
Yeah, and it is really shallow. I agree with Ducky, and he does have a lot to lose if he doesn't go to court. And I do think that he's going to win in court. What do you guys think?
I think the fact that she wants a gag order is it's just ridiculous. She's the one that put all this information out to begin with. She just wasn't expecting him to like counterpunch and for it to like actually hit. I think she's not living in reality. And he's already leaked some pretty like damning stuff about her. So to gag order it now would actually be a lose in her favor. But at the end of the day, like I personally don't care what happens to her. I think it'd be funny to see them all in court because Hollywood is insane and like they're all kind of like so just ridiculous. They all got paid. They all did well. This movie was a smash, I think. And then there was this kind of turbulence around it.
You get to see them out in like the real world, out in court, in a real live court setting, and not like in a movie. It has to be real. It's kind of weird to watch. It's hard. Like when I watch them dancing, it's hard to. They're like slow it down or whatever, and this is just like cutting for the lighting or the scene or whatever. It's hard to imagine two actors not acting that way.
I'd like to see it get ripped apart on a cross-examination.
I think Ducky makes a really good point that Justin would be labeled as an abuser of women if he doesn't go to court and doesn't see it all the way through. Because, you know, it's true. It's kind of like the Johnny Depp thing with Amber Heard. Like
Mhm.
Johnny really benefited from going to court from the defamation case, because otherwise he had been blacklisted. He'd been like said that he couldn't do Pirates of the Caribbean anymore. He was out of all the Disney promotional stuff, and now he's got his name back, and he's like back to being, you know, A+ list kind of thing. And I think even Pirates wants him back, but he would never do it. So I think that there is a lot to lose for Blake, and I think there's not a lot to lose for Justin for it to go to court.
Yeah. 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 Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting take. What do you think? Who should we talk about next? Karen Reed?
Yeah, we got updates in Karen Reed. Actually, we've got live court tomorrow for Karen Reed, so that's exciting.
Oh, that is exciting.
Do we have a video to preface our update?
Yeah, let me find it here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, tomorrow's another hearing to debunk a witness.
Hmm? Karen Reed stuff?
The defense for Karen Reed filed an important motion in preparation for the retrial of Karen Reed. By the agreement of and suggested by the special prosecutor Hank Brennan, they could send an expert to examine and authenticate the Sally Port video presented in the first trial. They agreed a time and date for their computer, IT, and mobile device forensic analyst to attend the Canton Police Department and extract the surveillance video, which we refer to as the Sally Port video. So the expert has to take great measures to get to the Canton Police Department. He had to take a flight and then an Uber. And when he finally gets there, he was told that the surveillance video was not preserved, and the Canton police technician said the defense had already received a copy of the original video files, yet they were not sure how they produced this footage to the defense, guessing it must have been sent to them by a shared link. The defense is now arguing not having the original files with the metadata would mean they could not verify that the defense had the same copy that was disclosed to them, because the way the Canton Police Department technicians extracted the video from their system is insufficient for forensic purposes. This means the original surveillance video data is permanently lost. The defense is saying the loss of material evidence will prejudice Karen Reed's defense. And since there is no remedy for the loss of evidence, the courts have at times upheld various judicial remedies. At one end of the scale, a remedy could be the defense could bring attention to the jury regarding the Commonwealth's negligent handling of the evidence, or the evidence is so material, the indictment should be dismissed. So the indictment is the list of charges formally accusing a person had committed a crime. So remedies are orders that the court can make to right a wrong. So if something's gone drastically wrong, these, could be some of the remedies that the court can make. So they can make a monetary remedy, which is a dollar amount that is lost. So any financial loss, and we'll hear about that in a minute. And the other example is a remedy open to the court, which we just heard about, is to stop a specific action from happening. And that's why, they're saying, could the court, dismiss the indictment? And unfortunately, or in this case, it's kind of unfortunate, it is at the discretion of the trial judge. And here it is. I said I would discuss the monetary value in just a minute. And the defense is also asking the court to consider the costs involved to have their expert attend, which you can see on the screen. It is in excess of $12,000. Given the Commonwealth is culpatory, meaning it was their fault, to say, hey, if you want to come down and do an examination, here's the time and date, you can do it. When the Commonwealth ought to have known the original surveillance video was not available. basically making the defense run around in circles unnecessarily at further expense to the defendant. So that's the new motion in a nutshell. Go watch my video as I point out on the screen. You can see, is there a prosecutorial misconduct? So I point out some issues where I think there's problems with the Sally Port video surveillance. Then come back, leave a comment. Do you think this evidence is material enough, or said differently, significant in proving the evidence was tampered with? And you'll know more about that once you see that video on the screen, and I'll leave a link for you in the chat as well at the end of this video, and there should be one somewhere on the top right
I think we're
to
good.
click into as well. So once you've done all that, and
Well, thank you to that creator. I mean, that was a pretty good rundown of what's been going on with the Sally Port video. What do you guys think? This is crazy. The Brennan gave them the go ahead to go pick up the original Sally Port video, and then Canton Police said it doesn't exist. Hello? Can people hear me?
Hello, can you hear me? I was muted.
Yeah. Are you muted? Am I muted? Am Ariel muted?
I hear you guys.
Okay.
I heard you. Yes. I don't. Sorry. Yeah. No. I can't. This is everything they say is unbelievable.
I think throw it out. The Sally Port video is needed in order to have a fair trial.
Agreed.
It is the ultimate video of the car being impounded and exactly what the police did with the car being impounded, exactly if there was any tampering, and just the fact that she doesn't have access to main like material in order to create a defense is another thing that is just a glaring issue with this case. I mean, at what point are we going to just throw out this case and say it has been debacled by the police? The Canton police, I mean, you guys know, I even stand up for like the Idaho police in the Idaho 4 case, but like in this particular case, these police and this office has been a disaster.
Oh, yeah, it's embarrassing. I 100% stand behind the police in the Idaho 4 case, and Idaho in general. These cops are like, I mean, I'd like just to see a judge, or I just like to see them bring in microdots videos. Just show a series of microdots videos to the jury. Like, no talking. They don't bring in anybody on the stand. They just show the jury microdots videos, and they're like, "Here you go. Here's what probably happened, most likely, and not a car running over him."
Right. And you have to know that what happened to the vehicle in order to understand the tail light. The tail light is the key to she hit him with a car case.
Totally.
And they didn't collect the evidence properly. They had the evidence, like they collected it over a span of a month and a half.
In solo cups.
In solo cups, right? And they did it via drive-by. I mean, at what point, sure, $12,000, give her the $12,000 for the expert, but like this whole entire thing just needs to be, thrown out. And Auntie Bev is a disaster herself.
Oh, and you can watch, when you watch their body cam, is so it's so bad. I mean, it's so obvious that they're doing some bad things here. It's so obvious that they're bending the truth here. It's not even right. It's so insane.
And the Sally Port's inverted too. It's like you're looking through a mirror through that video. Everything is reversed.
Yeah, the one that was given to, the one that the prosecution submitted, and and Bukaki, Lieutenant Bukaki, whatever you want to call him, he stated on the stand that it was the actual video and that he didn't see any issues with the video. So again, you got another officer who is problematic and who's lying on the stand. I mean, when this goes to court again, it's going to be explosive. I don't see how Brennan's going to pull this one out.
Yeah, me neither. I agree with Ducky here. That
What's Ducky saying?
if the correct officers, Ellie, had been involved, they would have taken her car to the right facility, and there wouldn't have been an issue at all. There would have been no issue. And she didn't hit him. He clearly we looked at that picture. We saw that picture of his arm, you guys. He didn't get hit by a car.
There's another video too
Another video, what?
with Higgins.
What's he doing in that one?
He's supposedly the one where he's moving cars. He wasn't moving. He was at the police station at he entered at 1:26. Then he was on the phone at 1:34 for a minute or two, and then he left.
Right. And he didn't disclose that. Yeah.
Yes,
He didn't
exactly.
disclose the phone call.
Oh. Who was
Never
he on
been
the
disclosed.
phone with?
But yet, he doesn't have a phone for them to recover that information because, again, he disposed of his phone and he also wiped it at the FBI kiosk, just like any other regular person getting rid of a phone.
That's what I do when I get rid of my phone. Laugh emoji.
Yeah, Higgins is so suspect. I send everybody over to Microdots to look at the Higgins video. Maybe one day we'll use it. I don't know if we're allowed to use Microdots videos, but I'd love to like take a look at like a deep dive of their videos and like see Higgins and Brian Albert in the bar prior to them all heading over to the Albert's house. It just looks like a fight like brewing.
Yeah.
It definitely does. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the whole. I mean, it doesn't look like it. It looks like there's going to be a fight in the parking lot. I mean, it's funny because I love. I don't know if we can use Microdots videos. I give high praise to the Microdots people, whoever person, people, whatever, because they're awesome. The videos are super good.
And Aussie Insider too.
Yep. Yeah, Aussie. Those videos are super good too. I wish I was better with AI. And I would, we probably wouldn't still make those videos like that, but I'm super impressed by the way they put out the videos there. Like you're saying, in the bar, watching them right before they leave, you'd see it. You see that tension. I see that stuff all the time at work.
I hope they show the video, the enhanced video, and I hope that they actually have a body language expert who can go over that video and just like give a really good breakdown of what they're seeing, what kind of aggressive stances those are, what they would expect. Because if you've worked in a bar and you've seen drunk guys like getting ready to fight, you know exactly what you're looking at when you see the Higgins and Brian Albert and like the motions towards John. It's so aggressive. It's so like brewing, and then to know that John didn't make it out that night alive and he was like just like totally black and blue and destroyed. You have to put two and two together. You have to if you're smart.
No, I agree completely because it's what do you think about Ducky saying? Really wonder if the defense asked for exterior view of Higgins moving the cars. Was there that?
They got a video of that, but they turned it in after the initial trial, so it could be used in this trial.
This trial that shouldn't happen. All right, good.
Yeah,
they got better evidence this time.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I do think there will be a trial because they're just forging ahead with every court date. I mean, this is costing her millions of dollars.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. She's gonna sue them. She should sue the shit out of all of them.
Yep,
she will
totally. So I'm gonna be watching Emily D. Baker tomorrow. I'm interested to see what tomorrow's all about and what's.
I know what tomorrow's about. Tomorrow they're gonna try and get rid of the digital expert green.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And that's all about Jen McCabe's phone, the 227 in the hospital.
Was this the other creator that Ducky's talking about? Is that the one you were talking about, Ashley? The other creator that had the interior of their waterfall?
Yeah,
JFK.
Aussie Insider.
Yeah, JFK. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, JFK is really good too.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And Turtle Boy I would suggest following him on Twitter. He's a really good follow on Twitter. He
Yeah, he
talked
is.
about the he'll break it down obviously, but yeah, he's done a lot for this case and he brought it to light and
Oh my gosh, yeah.
yeah.
Big time
Yeah,
brought it to light.
he's
'Cause
the
I don't
man.
know. Do you think I mean Karen, that's just Karen's money that she's like wasting, hopefully getting back at some point here, like well, keeping her life, I guess, free. But I mean, it just do you think people are giving her money? Is she getting donations from wherever anyways?
Turtle Boy waved like $400,000 for her at least.
That's what I mean. Did he give it to her for her
Yeah,
Yeah, they've
yeah.
all been raising
okay.
money for her. Like
Just
they'll
so-
say specifically, this is for the Karen Reed Legal Fund, and then obviously he makes money as well. And there's going to be a lot of documentaries coming out too, like the Netflix documentary. Karen's got a documentary team with her. I mean, I don't see a world in which she's convicted with so much information out now that the FBI is also looking into this. And I really hope that the FBI like cleans house on this case. Like even to Auntie Bev, I hate to say it, but Auntie Bev should have recused herself right away. Like she was suspect right off the bat when they called her Auntie Bev. So, you know, I think that this is like the FBI. I really hope they swoop in and just take control of this case. They know what happened.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Mandela. Welcome.
Oh, hi, Mr. Mandela.
You watch Turtle Boy at 1.75. That's hilarious, Ducky. Yeah, I watch him. He gets good people on. You have to kind of fast forward him when he gets into his beefs, like all his like beefs with all these random ladies that he doesn't like. I don't know, for me that's not like the subject that I really want to hear about, but he's got like the best information. His chat's super knowledgeable. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I love listening to his voice. Sorry, I'm like his accent.
Yeah, he's so funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
She lucked out having somebody so like aggressive just on her side. He's just on there twice a week, just going after everybody.
Big time aggressive. Aggressive's the perfect word for him. And it's not even an aggressive. Like I can't believe he got arrested.
I know. Wow. Yeah.
It's deep. That shouldn't have happened, but whatever. He was trying to make a point.
And he did. He made a big point.
Yeah. Yeah.
He exploited the cops. He did a lot, that guy.
Yeah. I mean, that is like all the information that got out there maybe not have gotten out there. I wonder if like microdots and those folks were even on it anyway, or they lived there. Those people are part of this whole case, I think, right?
Yeah, I think the people that live there are really vocal. It seems to be a very vocal group of people in general. Like they're, and it gives them a purpose. Like they're all out there kind of rallying for her, even on random days, right? Like I think on her inauguration day, they had like a Karen Reed rally and they were out there for Karen Reed. So like she definitely has this is such a unique case in so many aspects, like just the fact that people haven't lost their train of thought. Also, the level of lawyering that they have um, is just so fun to watch from a entertainment standpoint. I mean, I hate to say that, but like at the end of the day, we do follow true crime, so it's like it is really fun to watch someone like Alan Jackson like really attack this case and the points and the fact that the FBI is involved and that they've allowed their experts to be a part of this case. And, Proctor's phone extraction never would have happened without the FBI. Just so many things, so many aspects to this case. I just couldn't see her being convicted.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, it's it's impossible. Like Ducky says again, like the Kansas moms, the corruption, like
there's corrupt cops there. That's why the whole community's
all
involved.
that stuff. Like nobody expects that. They don't expect coverage. Nobody expects somebody to show up. Your kid, the people whose kids have gone missing, and there's probably way more that have gone missing than are the ones picked up and like followed, like some are Wells, and there's like
Mhm.
100 more kids that go missing like in that time frame between the one child and the next child, and then only so many get put in the news.
Right.
Tragic, and stuff like this could be really passed over really easily. I mean, it's super corrupt. The whole thing looks so corrupt. Like they can't. What did we find out last time? Proctor on leave with no pay, and the whole debacle is crazy.
Sandra Birchmore too.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, there's a lot of intertwined people in the Birchmore case and the Karen Reed case. It's only just going to get crazier. I think May 1st is what we can, or is that Diddy? One of them is May 1st. I think it might actually be Diddy.
Yeah, I think
is May 1st.
There's definitely something May 1st.
I think she's April 1st.
Nope. Yeah. Yeah, and like there's definitely things happening everywhere. There, Ashley stepped away from us for a second. Should we? Do you want to watch your video about Emma?
Well, I can just talk about it too. I don't know what video do you have. If you want to do that, yeah, you can do that.
I have the dad video. If you want to watch that, and we'll see if we can. It's a minute and one.
Oh yeah. For a minute, put it up, and then I'll get into it.
A lot of confusion, a lot of dumb comments I'm reading that Emma could have just left on her own will. Completely incorrect. Emma was being held against her will. She was not allowed to leave the boat unless she was escorted by somebody. And she was being forced to do things that a 14-year-old shouldn't have to do. So I do believe this is sex trafficking, and it's being looked into. So can we just leave the stupid comments off the page that, my daughter's a runaway and things like that? She may have left the house with a stupid thought. What happened to her in this really bad world we live in is what we're talking about here. Trafficking is a huge problem across the world. It's a very big problem on Long Island, and I stress that parents should keep an eye on their children. Keep an eye on your little girls, even your boys, okay? Because these people are predators, and they will stop at nothing to get to your kids. Anytime a kid is being held against their will or forced to do things that they don't want to do, whether it's for addiction purposes or whatever it is, that's a form of sex trafficking, okay? They get these girls, they get them hooked on drugs, they make them do stupid stuff for it. That's called sex trafficking. So it's being, brought to the light, and we're working closely with detectives on it. A lot of
So, what's your little breakdown today, Eric?
Okay, well, since last time I talked about this, there was like 2 arrests. There's been 7 arrests now.
7?
7 arrests, yes.
Oh my gosh, I thought it was like 4. Holy cow!
No, it's 7. So, the story is that she went outside of her house. Somebody pulled up. She went outside to do something, and then she was gone. No shoes on, just a t-shirt and like leggings. This is on December 9th, and then she was taken, and then she was seen at some outside a hotel on a camera, banging on doors, that night.
Okay.
And then, so then she was taken. So I just found out today that they arrested the guy, another guy. His name is Alton Harrell. He's the guy who actually picked her up on the 9th. She got in a car with him, and he supposedly took her to an abandoned house, which was across the street from his house. Whatever, he had sex with her and stuff, and whatever. Then he was bringing her back to the boat, which was with the original guy they arrested, Frank Buckheit, who's 61 years old. Then they arrested another guy who I don't know if that guy, Frank was bringing her to this other guy, Bernice's house. He's 37.
Okay.
This is all coming from her mouth. When I guess she's a little better now, and she's pointing everyone out. So she seems like she knows who everybody is.
The guy's 37. Just There's
Yeah, he's the
no,
he's the
no.
second guy that was arrested, and then the
Okay.
guy who took
Okay.
her actually is the third guy. His name is Alton Harrell. And then they arrested another guy who was at 35, Daniel Burke. And then another guy who was 60, Robert Eccleston. For just, I guess these guys were like selling her to him. And then they just arrested 2 women. And the women, one of them like traded her like for drugs to the guy Bernice one day. How these women got a hold of her, they must be friends with the guy who owned the boat. And another woman was like taking naked pictures of her and like I guess showing them to I guess these guys so they would like could sell her.
Uh-huh.
And so they arrested both of them and they're like $750,000 bail for the 2 women I know, and the other guys are no bail at all.
Whoa. All right.
So it started out like with just one guy, and now it's like they said it's a trafficking thing, and they basically were trafficking her. And I think the way they met her is over the summer they arrested this teacher and a cop, and it was 2 other guys, and they had like a sex shop. And I think she was working there, and she met these guys who were like clients, and that's why they picked her up, and they were feeding her drugs, and because she had a drug problem, like she had an ankle bracelet on for troubled kids. They said that's why she had it on. She was only 14. And then I did some digging about the dad, and he's a little he's pretty much don't seem like he's at home, and he has his own like porn site. So he wasn't really being a good. He has his own porn site.
Oh, I thought you said corn.
No, porn. So he acted like a superhero, but sounds like he wasn't around before any of this happened, or he was doing crazy stuff. And like with that video where he said she didn't run away, I think she might have ran away because he's,
Kind of crazy stuff. Tell us. You
Right,
said he had porn on there, and
he had porn video, straight up porn videos. Like,
was it really bad porn?
yeah, pretty much like porn.
I mean, there could be a difference. There could be some.
No, yeah, it was
like,
it was called Savage.
All right. Okay. Well, he does have face tattoos.
No, but I'm saying he's talking about trafficking and stuff. He's making videos like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, so
he wasn't making love in the videos. I'll tell you that much.
All right. I see. Unlike most porn. Anyways. So, what do you think, Ashley? Did you get to see that? Oh, why is she muted?
I don't know.
Oh, she muted herself. Oh, I didn't realize she was muted. Eric, what did
Yes.
you say? A police
Yes.
officer involved?
Yes, that's police officer. What he was involved in the sex shop where they originally busted, like where I think this started. Him and a gym teacher, and 2 other guys, but they were like just the guys who own the sex shop that these guys were basically had a brothel. They had 2 of them, and they were like brothels. You just go and have sex with women, and as a cover, it was a sex shop. And a cop was arrested, 2 other guys, and a gym teacher, and all for trafficking, and so and that was like in the summer, but I think they tied it all together. That's how this girl, like these people, might have met her, where they were drugging her up, and because she's a star witness. Before all this happened, she's a star witness in a sex trafficking case, which is pretty much what the 2 guys that own the sex shop.
So what's that mean? Like she's already been sex trafficked?
Yeah, and they feeding her drugs, so they somehow she's lured by drugs.
That's horrible.
And she's only 14 years old. That's the real horrible part.
Oh, that's super sad. That's insane, really.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe the father should have paid more attention.
Well, yeah, who knows all those circumstances again. does have a lot of face tattoos. That's not like a normal societal thing.
I just thought he's like acting like a hero, dude. If you were a hero, she wouldn't be in this situation.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, hero dads probably don't have kids with ankle monitors on, but I don't know that story. And I don't know if we are going to talk about it or if you want like any of that stuff when we talk about that because she's so young.
Yeah, that's just, they said, she was a troubled youth.
Yeah. Is that common? Ankle bracelets?
No, not common at all. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't think so.
if you have no parents or nothing, you're gonna be a troubled youth. Nobody to discipline you or make sure you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're growing up around a dad who has a sex site, that's probably not too healthy.
That's pretty weird.
Yeah.
I would think that would be weird, but
Yeah, I think so too.
yeah, like I mean, I don't know what the environment is around that. I can't imagine any of that would be safe and comfortable for children, but yeah, yep. I get it. But I mean, let's see. What's Ducky saying here? There's another case where law enforcement arrested running brothel and was running over to it while on duty in another town. What was robbed? What?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. Those are that's the sex shop. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the same case. That's how they were following that case from like 2021 because the police officer supposedly they robbed the brothel and he was on duty and he went there and they kind of tracked him because he was out of where he's supposed to be because if you're a cop you're on a GPS.
All right.
And so he was 6 miles out of his jurisdiction, and that's how they wound up finding out, like tracking this guy about the sex shop and whatever. It took him 4 years to bust him. Yeah.
That is hilarious. That she knew exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. That's the exact case. Yep. Yes, she knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's tied it. That's who I think she was the witness to, the star witness.
All right.
That's I know someone who's like knows other people, and he's basically told me that.
She was a star witness somehow for this brothel getting busted.
Yeah.
They can't be comfortable for a child. So
No,
when did that go down? Earlier this year?
Yeah, like September.
Oh, recently.
Yeah. Totally recent. That's why she didn't even go to court yet for that. So I'm thinking they might have thought that she was taken by these people, so she wouldn't go to court. But I don't think she was. I just think it was like these people she knew from like sex shop.
Oh.
Because they're all different ages. You got 2 really old men, and you got 3 younger guys, 2 middle-aged guys. So.
All right. Does money care what age they are?
No, but I'm just saying that's why you have a whole group, like. But and they all live within 15 miles.
Hey guys, sorry I had to take care of something.
No, it's all right. Some of us have
Eric's update on his Long Island story.
Yeah,
I'll catch it on the replay.
It's super interesting though, and Ducky makes a good point that they are all at least 6 degrees closer, less than 6 degrees separation from each other from this other case. Eric found the case that the girl is probably the star witness.
Yeah, I've been following the dad's channel. The dad's channel is kind of interesting, hey?
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
Huh. To say the least.
Yeah.
She did miss a lot. She'll catch you.
Yeah. Sometimes she sleuthed a little with me too, so she knows a little bit.
Eric has files. We see his files.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just so close to home, and you're like,
Yeah.
You know, you wonder if anyone else is involved, any other children. Oh, and they also, the plan was to bring this girl to North Carolina
What?
on the
How do you
boat.
know that?
On the boat. I've read that. That the guy the last guy they arrested, he was supposed to bring her there with the guy who owns the boat. What they were gonna do? Yeah, they would bring her down there and I guess I don't like
On
traffic
the
her. I
boat?
guess on the boat. Yeah, they were gonna sail down there to North Carolina on the boat with her. And this is from her mouth. That's what their plan was.
Mm. Gosh, I guess that's an easy way to transport people, huh? Because there's not really like people out in the ocean stopping you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sex trafficking thing is a huge, huge world to get into. It's scary for regular people to uncover it, though, because there's so much corruption around it. And, like, it's something to be very, like, I mean, it's the dad putting himself out there and talking about it kind of surprised me. But, I mean, I guess he definitely has something to say about it because his daughter was about to be trafficked.
Yeah.
I'd say he's secure in knowing that he's not part of something like that.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
or is he inserting himself? Yeah, exactly, Eric.
I don't know. The videos he has aren't like.
Yeah, his videos are kind of wild. Like, I suggest people go take a look at them.
They're disturbing.
Decide for themselves.
Like if your daughter's like trying to watch TV or do her homework and he's doing shit like that, yeah, she's not gonna want to stay in the house.
Whoa, why is that? How those people? Why do they make more money than NYPD? Because it's a nicer area, a more affluent area.
Oh yeah. The Suffolk County and Nassau County cops make a lot of money. Yeah.
Sure, that makes sense.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of like they start in the city and then they come out here.
Okay.
And the city's much more dangerous.
Oh.
No kidding. That would be the place to retire. Is a nicer area.
Yeah.
I'm with Ducky. I don't know. I think I like this. I like this small town feel.
No thanks. I'll take your word for it. She says. Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, it's something we're going to continue to watch. It's not gotten a lot of traction, interestingly. I mean, it's gotten some. I know he was on Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil covered it. But now Dr. Phil's off with ICE, so
yeah,
he's not doing an update.
That's so funny to watch him. Like, seriously awkward. Still.
I didn't have it on my bingo card, but I guess everybody's
I definitely didn't have it. I definitely not. You're right. That's such a good point. I didn't have Dr. Phil with ICE.
Yeah.
Taking down Thai people or whatever video I watched.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's right.
I thought that poor Thai man, and then he was like, no, he Diddy children or something. I was like, whoa, yeah, okay, take that guy away. All right, I see what you're doing. Okay.
Did you see my TikTok?
What? Is that what it was on?
Did you see my TikTok?
I think so. Was that the Dr. Phil where he's arresting the guy?
No. I just had something else on it, but something about ICE stuff.
You want me to stream your TikTok?
No, you don't have to. No, it's political. You can't.
We're in the true crime genre tonight. We're staying away from politics.
You can check it out after the show.
Okay, cool.
Definitely. I think it's funny.
How do we find you on TikTok, Eric?
What is my name on TikTok? Mr. Pink 1993, I think. Yeah.
Cool. Go follow Eric. He's unplugged.
That's right. All right, so
all the other usual suspects' names are probably taken for that year also. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, who's next?
What do you think? We got Kouri Richins, I mean, or Diddy?
Let's end with Diddy. Let's get Kouri Richins now.
All right.
Yeah, this is the Utah mom case. The killer Utah mom who poisoned her husband, and we are going to take a look at a video with regards to the walk the dog letter.
Okay. And Kouri's in court tomorrow, right?
Yeah. I think so. I said yes, and then I'm like, maybe.
Well, Emily is covering her back to back. I don't think she's in court tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
She met up with acquaintance 2 at a Maverick gas station in Draper.
My apologies that the video is super low quality.
And purchased from him 15 to 30 round green-blue pills, which she understood to be fentanyl.
There was no fentanyl or traces of fentanyl found in the home anywhere.
1 or 2 pills might be accidental. 20 or 5 times the lethal dose is not accidental, Your Honor. That is someone who wants Eric dead.
Since Eric's death, we have learned and unfortunately are continually reminded that Kouri is desperate, greedy, and extremely manipulative. We have watched as Kouri has paraded around portraying herself as being widow and victim while trying to profit from the death of my brother.
Kouri Richins is charged with murdering her husband, Eric, by feeding him, unbeknownst to him, obviously, in his Moscow Mule drink, a whole bunch of fentanyl, enough that killed him. So she's been locked up pending her trial. They were searching her cell and they found this walk the dog letter that she had written and had hidden inside her little book in her little cell. Now, you may recall that before she got arrested, she wrote a children's book on dealing with grief for children, how to grieve the loss of a parent, and she's charged with her children's father's murder. So take a look at what we found in the state's memorandum in opposition to motion to enforce order and for contempt sanctions. Sounds complicated. Take a listen. The court should deny the defendant's motion to enforce order. The motion is a fire, aim, ready reaction to the defendant's misconduct in the jail. The motion contains factual errors, legal misunderstandings, rendering it unpersuasive at best. On September 16th, the defendant had a telephone call with her mother. The defendant described the walk the dog letter as an excerpt of a fictional book that the defendant is writing about her stay in a Mexican prison. The defendant explains in pertinent part, and this is a quote from this conversation, "When I first got in here, I was telling you how I was writing a book. Those papers were not a letter to you guys. They were part of my book. I was writing this fictional mystery book. I go to Mexico and I'm like trying to find these drugs. I'm writing about Dad, like me and Dad went to Mexico to find these drugs." You can very much tell that the whole thing is very much a story. Again, she's an author, so she's claiming that this walk the dog letter, this incriminating walk the dog letter, was actually part of her book. So what we're going to do for you now is have you listen to our rendition of the walk the dog letter that was written by Kouri Richins.
She wants to link Eric getting the drugs and pills from Mexico, so we need some kind of connection. Her private investigator is doing some research on the ranch cartel place Eric would stay at. Here's what I'm thinking, but you have to talk to Ronnie. He would probably have to testify to this, but it's super short, not a lot to it. He will need to talk to Sky at the meeting next week. Upon information and belief, just like they say, a year prior to Eric's death, Ronnie was over watching football one Sunday, and Eric and Ronnie were chatting about Eric's Mexico trips. Eric told Ronnie he gets pain pills and fentanyl from Mexico, from the workers on the ranch, but not to tell me, because I would get mad, because I always said he just gets high every night and won't help take care of kids. Ronnie should have texts from Eric talking about getting high as well. Eric told Ronnie he keeps them in an allergy pill bottle in his work truck so I wouldn't find them. Ronnie never told me about the conversation. Eric finally told me and asked if Carmen could get him some. Eric never wanted anyone to know he had an issue, especially get caught. He always wanted Kouri to go down for him. Reword this however he needs to make the point just to include it all. The connection has to be made with Mexico and the drugs. Ronnie will have the messages to prove Eric confided in him about getting high. He can be short and to the point, but it has to be done. When you talk to Ronnie about this, meet up with him in person. I worry sometimes your house and phone are bugged. Tell him I need him to do this. Bring me home, and then we will get those damn bitches. We're so close to the end. Let's push through. Have the conversation with Ronnie before he meets with Sky. Then tell him to tell Sky at the meeting about the conversation. Hang in there. We're almost there. Love you to the moon.
Oh, boy. Take a look, folks. Back in court, scheduling hearing November 3rd. We'll have more for you there. But does that letter sound like she's trying to get her family to make up some stuff to testify to in court? Or does it sound like a piece of her brand new book that she's writing now? I am.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that that letter was a letter to somebody about her plan.
Yeah, I love it. I love how it has become the thing, the walk the dog letter.
Yeah.
It's like the joke, and they just talk about it all the time, but it's really like a letter, or she's like just talking, just trying to get her brother to destroy evidence.
Yeah. Walk the dog.
Yeah, walk the dog.
Because she's a writer. She writes books.
One book at least? How many books did she write?
Well, this was her second book. That was a big excerpt from it.
Oh. In the second book, she's in a prison in Mexico.
Yeah.
But can you hear him there? Ducky, he just woke up. He's alert.
Kind of like she's in a prison now.
Yeah. How coincidental that that's what her story's about. Somebody being in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the whole thing is pretty sad, though. I mean, she's got 3 kids, right? Or is there 4 kids?
I think 3. Yeah, well, that's what there was a children's book about grief, right?
Yeah. Let me see. The beginning of the video.
Did you know her mother lost a boyfriend in a similar way?
What?
Her mother lost a boyfriend in a similar way, overdose on opioids.
Oh. Well, that's a odd and sad coincidence. How recently did that happen?
2006.
Chase, that was a minute ago.
Yeah, a little while ago, but it's still a fact.
Oh, no. That's a huge fact. Quincy's wandering around now looking for snacks.
And there's something about like when they were searching her house, they found a notebook that wasn't on the warrant. But whatever was in that notebook, they went back and they wrote another warrant and they tried to get it. And I think they're considering the orange notebook fruit of the poisonous tree.
Oh, so what? Because how'd they find that? How'd they find the first notebook?
They were searching. They had a warrant for some things in her house, and they found that and they read it, which they shouldn't have because it wasn't on the warrant. And
Well, I watched the cop when he was like, "Oh, is that what?" Yeah, I could tell that's not what it was for. That's not what it was about.
It was medical. I think it was like something between her and her shrink or something like that. So that's what they were saying. But I think that might get discussed tomorrow in the court. Like this, 3 motions to suppress. It's like one suppress statements in evidence, electronic data, and then a motion to suppress the walk the dog letter.
Nope, that's not going to get suppressed. Nope, sorry. I mean, I get that. I get that we could get somehow that if her attorney's good enough, they could get to that. They could get back to fruit of the poisonous tree. They could get back to it some other way of getting it out of evidence, but
yeah, the walk the dog. I
don't think she stands a chance.
How did they get that letter?
I think it was just in her jail cell. I think she was, or she sent it to her brother.
Yeah, you're allowed to read whatever they send you. So
yeah.
Whatever you're going to send out. Yep.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, let's be reasonable. Can they read a journal? Do we know?
I don't think they can read it, but if she writes something about committing a murder and it's shared between her therapist, the therapist I think is required to tell law enforcement. If it's like a murderer.
Oh yeah. Oh look, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But that's not the case here. I don't think.
Well, I mean, I think it was her mom or her brother, wasn't the letter to her family.
Yeah. But whatever was in the orange book, I don't know if her therapist read anything in there, or
Well,
if
I
she even has
mean,
a therapist.
or she just plays a therapist on TV. She's got a weird personality for humor. Like we were talking about that. She's brokety broke. Her
I
husband's
think
not.
she spends over her means. Like that's what I think she's more like.
Oh, 100%. That's what it totally sounds like.
She's not. She could not be broke, but she wants the fancy shit in life, and she's not selling enough books.
Yeah, I don't think children's books make that much money. Like, as far as I can tell, you can make them.
Yeah.
Them on Amazon.
I
But
don't know.
not to degrade the, creating the book and what she did there. I'm sure that was not nothing, but she also killed her husband.
Yeah, well, if you don't kill your husband, you can't make the book.
I mean, yeah, the book's not really significant if you don't kill your husband, so I could see
Yeah.
that. No.
And you probably sell more copies. That's the lady who killed her husband.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, because I mean, now I want to read that book.
Yeah. But yeah, this is she looks like really guilty, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Like there's no sign of like she wasn't abused or anything. Like there's none of that ever came out, was it?
Yeah, I actually don't know. Other than money, other than I read that or watched that she owed quite a bit of money.
And she wanted to sell the house, he didn't, right? Something like that.
All
And
right,
I think
well,
she actually tried to sell the house behind his back.
What?
I'm pretty
Like,
sure something like
I don't know how you could call yourself like a happy married couple and that happens.
that's why it didn't take place because she didn't. She wanted to sell the house, I think, and he didn't want to. It was like worth a couple $1 million, I think, and I think that's where all the tension started. So.
All right.
Or she tried to sell it after he died, maybe.
And she couldn't, but he's dead.
Oh, no, then because they had a criminal investigation going on.
Probably she couldn't get the insurance money, and she wanted.
I think that's what triggered the whole like she killed him, like when she. I could be wrong, but there's something like that involved.
Oh, you're saying she's super greedy.
Yeah, something about the house. She killed him because she wanted to sell the house. That's basically the idea.
All right. Some people are very greedy.
Yeah. Oh, like I said, she lived above her means, so she wanted. You take away money from people, they go crazy.
Yeah, it's actually bizarre because I honestly just can't fathom the mother, right? This is a mother with, nice looking husband.
And she had a boyfriend too. She had a boyfriend.
Oh yeah, of course she did. Of course she did. Is he going to be in court?
I don't know if he has any part of this. I don't know. But yeah, I just touched up on the recent stuff of this, but we're gonna go back and I don't want to give out false information. Everything I said is just speculation so far.
Yeah, we're all just these are all allegedly. We don't really know what we're talking about. We were just watching other videos for this one, but we just started paying attention to Kouri Richins actually. Yeah, Ducky. If the house was in her name, common for tax purposes. That's good to know because we were discussing that earlier.
And I guess they weren't Mormons, I don't think.
They what?
I don't think they were Mormons.
Well, so what would that mean a difference in how they did their taxes?
I thought everybody in Utah's a Mormon.
No. In fact, per capita, we got more Mormons in Idaho.
Oh, okay. See? The things I don't know.
I mean, but that's per capita, right? We have like a quarter as many people.
Because my friend moved to Utah and he said there's a lot of Mormons there. Like my best friend I grew up with my whole life, and he says him and his whole family, his mother, his father, they all moved out there. His brother.
Are they Mormons?
No. They just, I don't know. Like, I don't know. His brother lived out there, and then we liked it out there. And then my friend, his daughter's mother passed away, and he just left after that.
Hey guys.
This is
Hey.
We're
This
just
is
talking
really...
about. We're talking about something that you love, Mormons.
Oh, I do love the Mormons. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the walk the dog letter thing, like, just to chime in, because
Please.
I'm on call at the moment.
Yeah.
But to me, I think the staff, because this comes up in the Diddy case as well, the staff have to be so careful at the jail not to trample on these people's rights in any way, or even just the like appearance of it. Because when you have people who are really, really guilty, like Kouri Richins and like Diddy, and they are like clearly like smoking gun guilty, the only way that they get free is by technicalities, right?
Yeah.
So for the sergeants to be doing like not illegal searches, but like to be searching their cells and finding these pieces of evidence and then like potentially like reading them or confiscating them or taking photos of them, like if that comes out in trial, unfortunately, like it gives the appearance that something is going on. And then like with really good lawyering, that's enough to get, something major thrown out, right?
Yeah. The Orange
I don't
Notebook.
think it gives her, I don't think she gets off because of it, but I do think like this is the type of stuff that, the defense like uses as, because the whole thing of the walk the dog letter is that there was like a search of her cell and they got these 9 pages and, should it come into court or not, given the fact that it's like such a smoking gun, but like, they just have to be careful that nothing is considered an illegal search and seizure, right?
Well, Emily's covering that tomorrow. That's going to be evidence suppressed tomorrow.
Duck says, how can there be expectation of privacy in jail? Well, here's the thing, Ducky, is that if an inmate has any correspondence and it's meant for their lawyer, if it says legal on it at all, you're not actually allowed as like you're not allowed to confiscate that. If you're not allowed to like take photos of it because it could be considered a private correspondence between you and your lawyer, and that's what they're claiming.
Yeah.
Yes. It happened in the Diddy case.
Yeah, and it happened again in the Diddy case. Like, so because they're being thorough and like these are high profile, inmates, obviously they need to check their cell just like everybody else. But because they have good lawyers, they're making it, this big appearance in court that their conversations with their lawyers or their legal counsel is being, spied on, and that's their side.
But it happened in this case too with the Orange Notebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how does somebody like Kouri Richins get off, on this, giving her husband all this fentanyl, and she wrote a book like specifically on exactly what she did. I mean, she's just like a total. The case seems like a slam dunk. Now, we haven't seen it in court. Like as per usual, she's innocent until she's proven guilty, but she looks pretty guilty.
And the problem is, go ahead there.
I was telling Sophia in 2006, her mother's boyfriend died of an overdose from pills.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ducky, it's actually, it was funny because I hadn't heard that before, and then I saw JLR covering something, and he said, because he's done time or he knows something about doing time, I don't know.
He did time.
Said,
he did 10 years. 10 years.
Yeah, he said that it's like such a scam, like all inmates do that. They write legal on everything, and it's like just a total scam. Like it's a well-known thing that they do.
Yeah, it sounds like a total scam, and it also sounds like reasons why some really BS cases can get through. Like some of the stuff that's gotten thrown out. I watched that Diddy documentary, right? And there's that one woman in there. She's an executive, and she is talking. And she's having a hard time talking. Like almost starts crying when she was talking.
No spoilers.
No, I know. I'm not going to spoil anything with it. I'm just saying, like, she is explaining it how so many other cases, and I believe what she was referring to, and she didn't even say it. She's talking about things like Bill Cosby. You know, nothing. He did nothing. He got nothing.
Yeah.
And he went to prison, and then he got let out. But we all know he's guilty. He got proven guilty, but because of some technicality from whatever paperwork 10 years ago, he got let out. So it's kind of like we can, put all this effort into doing it and getting people busted, but all the work and effort they put into did Weinstein get out? Weinstein's in prison, right? That guy's gross.
Well, somebody comes along and pardons them.
Oh yeah. I hope that's not.
So should we move to Diddy because we gotta keep this shorter than?
Yeah, we got a lot of Diddy. Yeah.
Oh, we got some Diddy. I got the. Let's see here.
We got a video and then we can discuss.
Okay.
I've got no audio on that.
Yeah, I don't hear it either.
Sophie, yeah, we've got no audio there.
What?
No audio.
No audio.
Oh. Let's try this again.
Years old in 2000. Yeah. The Jane Doe filed a sexual lawsuit against Diddy and two unnamed defendants who allegedly worked for the disgraced rapper. In the lawsuit, the woman claims she was leaving her part-time babysitting job in Lower Manhattan when she ran into Combs and his pals outside the building where one of the rapper's well-known ex-girlfriends also allegedly lived. The documents obtained by Page Six read, quote, Combs engaged her in conversation, asking where she was going so late at night and that it was not safe for her to be walking alone. Although she told the rapper that she lived around the corner and would be fine, he allegedly insisted on giving her a ride home. The doc stated, quote, after much cajoling by Combs, she agreed and got into his car, something the plaintiff would come to regret forever. The Jane Doe claimed Combs gave her a drink to calm her down, which allegedly left her feeling groggy and unsteady. The lawsuit stated, quote, Combs and his staff, the two male co-defendants, proceeded to a location where she was sexually assaulted by Combs. Combs' legal team vehemently denied the accusations on his behalf, while the rapper continues to be held in a Brooklyn jail since September, awaiting his May 2025 trial.
Sounds like a new day, a new day, a new Diddy lawsuit, doing the exact same shit that he's always supposed to be doing, like giving laced drinks to victims, especially underage people.
Oh,
take
yeah.
advantage of them. I mean, this seems like the MO, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, in the most insane. This is not. I can't believe the MO and how often it is the same. I mean, like, it's kind of scary. Some of the things when you've heard some of the stories, some of the little things that people have added in, like this one thing happened, you're like, oh my god. Or like, the baby oil.
I think the Ashley Parham story is going to bury him.
What was that?
The Ashley Parham story?
Oh, yeah.
Is going to bury him. She's got too much detail to be.
Do you want to explain that one? Because that's not the one that we just watched.
Yeah, no, that's
It's the one with the
bodyguard and his
News Nation.
Yeah, it's the one that she was interviewed on News Nation, and his one of that woman that's Christina, what's her name, Corum, his publicist.
Yeah, it's Diddy's right hand lady.
Oh, so she was somewhere and she met this guy Shane Pierce, and he's like he was on the phone with P Diddy and she's like so she's like, you want to talk to P Diddy? He's like, I'm not impressed with him. He took out Tupac, she says. So Diddy hears this because he's on FaceTime with this guy, and he says something to him. He's like, you know who I am? I'll take you out at the. So whatever. She leaves or whatever. And then this guy Pierce somehow, I guess, he gets in touch with her and asks her to come to his house to help him with something. And she goes there, and she kind of gets like bombarded by Diddy and another person. And Diddy starts like, "Oh, you got something to say about me? You know who I am?" And he makes her drink some water or something, drugs her. And then the three guys have their way with her, and the publicist was there, and she like tried to put a IUD in her.
Yeah, that was gross. She said, I don't understand how that works. I guess it like opened. It must be like
yes.
a poly screw or something. Like it opened. I don't know what that.
Whatever. It didn't engage anyway, but
yeah.
Yeah, so the three guys, they don't know what to say, but they, had their way with her for a few hours and all. And she said she was totally they threw this oil all over her, and she said she was like paralyzed when they did. Like eventually, she like couldn't fend anyone off. She couldn't do anything, had no control.
It's so sad. It's so messed up.
And then she came to, and she like was trying to leave, and they wouldn't let her leave, and then they went in the backyard. And she was like propped up on a bench or something, and he was just like bragging about what he did to her and how powerful he is. And he actually came out and said he had Tupac killed. She said that.
Like he brought it up.
Brought it up. I think he's screwed. I mean, I think at this point, there's so much evidence against him. Some of the civil cases I don't think will be successful, but some of them are going to be successful. And just the massive amount of people and celebrities and FBI, I just think that now he goes to court in May, right?
Yep.
And that is going to be not for civil, but it's going to be his federal case.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that there's going to be any surprises? We heard in this clip here that, again, it was like J-Lo without saying J-Lo, right? Like his high-profile girlfriend and all that stuff. Or what do you guys think we're going to see as far as like people called to the stand? Do you think we'll see people we know? Or
yeah.
I don't know. I think he's going to eventually give up some people like that. I think that's the only chance he has.
But he's still got to go to court, even give his
Yeah. Yeah, but he's bringing people down with him. I mean, like, that's what makes you those people.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of one thing. Like, Ashley, did you mean, are we going to see people in their own court cases?
Yeah, like testifying.
Yeah. No, both. I was actually surprised that whole
there's even more what he did to this girl.
No, yeah. That was sad. And I got
sorry, go. I'm sorry, No, finish what you're saying.
No, I was just saying she went to the neighbor's house.
Well, she stabbed him. And then he pulled out a gun, and she was with the neighbor, and he shot up the neighborhood and stuff. She went to the police, and they basically told her to fuck off.
Yeah. And she went to the cops several times.
Yeah, 3 different cops, and but they're all in cahoots.
Mm-hmm.
And then she went back because everybody left the house, so she slept there. And people saying that was like blaming her for sleeping there. But I mean, she's in a strange place, all beat up and shit. Like, she had no clothes, no keys to her car. So I mean, what would you do?
Oh man, I don't know what I would do.
You're insane.
I don't know how. I'd like to think that I wouldn't get in that situation, but neither do these people.
Yeah, no,
She didn't do anything wrong to get into that situation. She hadn't initiated something to cause it. It's just not to cause it. It's just to even start I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me. The whole I don't want to ruin it, but the whole little things that she said were really similar to things that a lot of other people have said.
Oh, she also said they put a pill in her mouth after they were done with her. The other Christina Corum gave her an IV.
Now that's damning. Like that is extremely damning to have somebody like giving these people electrolytes and like rehydrating them. Like to me, that is showing conspiracy. Absolutely.
Yeah, to even be prepared to do that, right?
And not only that, but I mean, like we're going off of the information that we have on civil cases, but we don't know what is going to come out in the federal case because that is private and that's not coming out to the public. Like, so will we see like some of the civil cases being brought up in the federal case? Like, what do you guys think?
I don't know. I think half the civil cases will be paid off and we won't even hear about them.
Well, we've heard about a lot of them already.
Yeah, but we didn't hear any names though. Like,
but anything to do with minors is such a huge offense. There's no way it stays civil.
yeah, you're right, but yeah, definitely.
So that's why I think anything to do with minors, that's going to be in his, criminal complaint for sure.
Definitely. Yep.
And he didn't do this alone. It's a RICO case. So, I mean, one would assume that we're going to be seeing lots of co-defendants.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it all.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't Epstein himself.
Now, what do you guys think? Like his lawyer was in court or wanting to be in court again because, like I said in the Kouri Richins update, there's a Diddy update where he's saying his rights were trampled. With an inspection. It's a regular inspection. It happens to everybody in that particular Detroit or Manhattan. I think, is he in Detroit or Manhattan?
Manhattan. He's in Manhattan. Brooklyn.
Okay. He's in the Manhattan jail, right? And apparently they got some paperwork that was meant for his legal team. And they're saying that he's being unfairly treated in the jail. And they want a hearing.
Yeah, because he's he wrote legal on something and they took it.
Right. And like under what circumstances, like apparently the thing that he wrote legal on is discussing witness intimidation. So I mean, like do they like that is to me, I mean, where does his rights start and like witnesses and their rights begin? I mean, I realize that they shouldn't even be reading it if it says legal, but if they've accidentally read it,
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Didn't they write legal on it afterwards too? Supposedly.
Yeah, I mean, there's arguments on both sides. I mean, if they do get a hearing, it'd be interesting to see because this comes up over and over again. And like JLR said, it's like very common that this is like a scam that inmates are using. And apparently he's been using other people's PIN numbers to make phone calls out. Like he's pretty active within the jail.
Yeah. He did get a win though, right?
With regards to another civil case?
Yeah, well, the one with Cordello Smith.
Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, the guy who was trying to sue him for like $400 million. When it said J-Lo was there and he was going to call her as a witness. That got all debunked.
Oh, who debunked
it?
it?
I saw in the comments that it was a matter of it was too long ago or something like that, like the statute of limitations.
No.
It was a statute of limitations issue.
Oh no, really?
Mm-hmm.
That guy's got his own trouble too. Like he's in jail currently.
Right.
Mm.
And he's somebody that writes a lot of lawsuits. So I mean, he's not a credible. I think there's going to be a lot of people that aren't credible that are able to like pull lawsuits with the Diddy thing, because if you look at it, he's really targeted a lot of people who potentially would have been on drugs and also were sex workers. So, they're going to attack everybody. They're going to attack Cassie. He's saying that the Cassie freak off tapes were all consensual, and that's his new angle with the Cassie situation.
These people aren't sex workers. The people I'm watching, the documentary that's about him on HBO. These people that he abused are not sex workers.
Right, but in the FBI complaint, it's like talking about trafficking of sex workers.
Yeah, for Rico.
And we haven't seen the HBO.
Yeah,
And the BuzzFeed one, his has a lot of sex workers too. I'm pretty sure.
I'm just saying it's quite a bit like all of the Diddy documentaries that have been made so far.
Okay.
In my opinion, of what happened, it's just more in depth from for newer interviews of people, but it just talks about like his past, as in everything you knew already, in reality, and maybe a little bit more. I'd like to see like whatever the original information from Cassie really is, and I'd also like to dig into more people in Hollywood and whatever in his hemisphere, whatever. How many people have died of pneumonia?
Pneumonia, exactly. And I'd love to see Kim's investigation, her death investigation, reopened, because everybody thought that was absolutely like stunk to high heaven. Like literally nobody believes that happened the way it happened.
Oh yeah, if I die of pneumonia, it wasn't like, it's not real. Like I don't
Brittany
know how
Murphy.
Yeah, like healthy people. And I realize pneumonia will kill you. I realize that, but pneumonia kills you generally. Ashley, tell me if I'm wrong. When you're
elderly,
old, yeah,
infirmed. Pneumonia will kill you with an autoimmune disease, like such as like once AIDS is,
sure, that makes sense.
When AIDS was an epidemic, like pneumonia was the ultimate cause of many people's demise, and they didn't put AIDS on the death certificate, but it was like pneumonia with the result of AIDS, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes you'll see pneumonia on people's death certificate, but really it's like because of an autoimmune disease. But that's also listed. But these were people that were like killing it at life, and then they got pneumonia randomly, and like a few days later they were dead.
Yeah, so, like the Cassie thing was like, or Kim.
Yeah. So our speculation is like he had access to a bioweapon, basically.
Wasn't Cassie paid off?
She was, but that doesn't mean that she's not going to be a part, and she is going to be a part of the
she has to be a part now.
Federal case. Yeah.
Yeah. The Rico case.
Yeah, that's a different whole nother ballgame.
Yeah. That's
dragging her down the hallway and shit.
Yeah. I mean, everybody is going to be a part of it. I mean, I think it's going to be a star-studded case, because it's going to be making a case that he himself was the center of a criminal enterprise. So if you were his best friend, there's no way that you weren't also a part of his RICO, case. That's my assumption. But I mean, obviously everyone's going to get amazing lawyers, and they're all going to be like, it's going to be like lawyers on parade, right?
I agree, Ducky. He's going to sing. Eventually, he will sing.
I'm so sorry, Ducky, about your mom. Yeah. See, that makes sense, though, right? Like, I mean, that's so sad. And breast cancer is just such a terrible, diagnosis, and ultimately, way to go. But yeah, pneumonia will catch people, because obviously, if your immune system's shot to shit, it's kind of the ultimate demise of many people.
And apparently, you can just buy something out in the world and give it to people somehow, which is so scary.
Well, and that might come out too. I mean, people aren't going to want to go to jail, so there's going to be informants on Diddy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still rooting for Justin. I really am. I know he wants to go on tour.
I hope he's a star witness.
I really hope so, but he also wants to start a world tour, so I'm like, ooh, can he do both? I don't know.
Maybe start a world tour in 26.
I read if you get baby oil in your lungs, it could give you pneumonia.
Oh, what? You read that?
Yeah, I read that.
That's interesting.
Well, if you have any liquid in your lungs, that's a cause for pneumonia. That's what pneumonia is liquid in the lungs.
Oh, gotcha.
But
how would
most
you get
people aren't going to die from accidentally inhaling something into their lungs. They will die from something if there's a hazard in there as well.
Yeah. I wonder. Yeah, that's very weird. I mean, it's just too common. It happened too much. It's happened too often, and then it did make me think though, like how many famous people, like you said, Brittany Murphy, and then other people have died from pneumonia, and it made me wonder if it's like if Diddy's thing and all this stuff is caused by somebody greater than them, Clive Davis, and it's been happening for years, and this is always how it's been, and this is how Hollywood is, and everybody's doing all these awful things to each other all the time. I mean, how many years is the pneumonia thing happened all over Hollywood when somebody really wanted something like, when or like Tupac, who was clearly a better artist than Diddy and would have outshined him had he been alive, I believe.
Well, what I think is wild is like how many deaths there are that we just like in our hearts and in our minds we know have been like murders, but we just kind of have to skip over it because there's no proof or there isn't enough proof or it's all been hidden, aka like the JFK murder, the Marilyn Monroe murder, the Martin Luther King murder, like all the ones that are coming out. And then of course there's like so many celebrities like Aaron Carter where they die, or Whitney Houston, where they die under such suspicious and weird and crazy
Super
circumstances,
suspicious.
and they have more resources. Sure, they might be people that struggle with addiction issues, but when you think about people that that struggle from addiction issues, do they die in the bathtub all the time, especially if they had like unlimited resources and the ability to have like a sober coach or like just like an assistant around them at all
Yeah.
times? I mean, Aaron Carter did have an assistant in his home at the time that he died, for example,
Was that who
right?
killed him?
And he's another person linked to Diddy, like, and also the record companies.
Oh
So
yeah.
was Diddy a hitman for other people? Like,
Right.
was he somebody that could do favors?
How
And
big is this? Did they burn down LA for this? LA is still on fire. Recap.
yeah, yeah. Well, we talked about that the last time, right? Like the tunnels and like the,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, to wrap it up, like, is all part of it? Is that all part of it too? Is it that big?
It could be.
Yes. Ducky, just to answer your question correctly, but I was told if someone aspirated, usually it goes right lung, causing pneumonia. If people aspirate, it depends on what they're aspirating, but if they're aspirating vomit, like they could die instantly from choking. But if they aspirate into their lung and then their lung incurs like any type of fluid, then yeah, I mean, especially elderly, like I work with elderly, they usually get pneumonia, which is very treatable. Like we're treating people with pneumonia right now. We have a lot of pneumonia cases. So, and they're not.
I see. He's talking about drones igniting the fire. I don't know about that, but I know about the ones out in New Jersey. They came out with that today. They did government drones.
Yeah, they're like, it's government stuff. Sorry.
That's from Trump. That's what Trump's.
Sorry, we alerted you. Sorry, made you wait for like a month to tell you.
Trump's
We're gonna have to do
secretary
a
said
show
that.
about that. I want to dig in deep to that because I've been sleeping. I work night shift, so
I mean,
didn't get
that's
to see
real,
that.
right?
Yeah.
That's the truth, right? That it's just real drones. It's no big deal, Ashley. It's not a big deal. It's just government drones.
Well, like, what the fuck are they doing?
Don't
and
look
why
up.
are there orbs? And why
Don't-
are they
Quit
shooting
looking up.
around? And like, why are there
Research.
like
They said research today.
Yeah, okay, but that's like we already knew that. That's like basically saying like yeah, it's we knew it was going to be your government because otherwise they would have been shot down. What we want to know is like what's the deal with them?
Well, they're UFOs, obviously. They live in the ocean. They're like coming out for some reason in Jersey.
They live
Like,
in the ocean.
I think they smell something. Maybe they're just like, I don't know why, but they pick Jersey other than it's on the coast, and maybe they got a home base over there or something. But I believe there's
Anyone
some
else
things
feel
going
like
on.
the more information we have, the more questions we get. Like, it's like, okay, it's government. Okay, great. Cool answer. We knew that. Like, because we kind of all figured that. There's like a bajillion channels that have like explained that to us. There's a guy that blew himself up outside the Trump Tower. Let's not forget him, the whistleblower.
Yeah.
I only saw a truck.
Well,
Yeah.
Trump said that today, so everybody's going to believe it.
I guess. I mean,
Not me, but I'm just saying.
no, I only saw a 2-minute clip on ABC, so
Because that's all they gave on it. 2 minutes. That's it.
was
Oh, it's
weird.
government. They only want to say two things about it. Oh, it's government. Yeah, Trump says it's government. That's it. It's good. Well, forget about it. It's over and done with.
Yeah,
That makes me more suspect than anything.
Yeah, there was some kind of meeting, and there was photos of said meeting, and there was discussion at said meeting, but I don't think we actually see anything much like the Koberger evidence.
I mean, I'd want to ask questions about radiation. I'd want to ask questions about how are these things being powered. I'd want to ask why all the drone experts are so confused by them, like, and think that they shouldn't be out at night. If they were actually doing any proper work, drones would be working in the daytime.
Do you really want to
Like,
know about radiation by now? I mean, I think you want to know about radiation, like a while ago.
yeah, I'd want to know about everything, though.
No, all of it. Eventually, I want to see all the things. I still don't know how. Did you watch JFK?
I haven't watched the movie yet. It's a long movie.
Yeah, it is. It's got to be 3 hours.
Yeah. But I'm gonna watch it. I mean, I've watched the trailer to the Oliver Stone one. It was kind of like before my time of caring about this kind of thing, right?
That's the better one.
Oliver Stone? Is that
Yeah.
the Kevin Costner? That's the one that
I'm pretty sure that's the one. Yeah. That's.
Yeah, that's the one I would suggest. What's the other one about?
They're all about the same thing, but some are better
I
than the others. Yeah.
I just would watch the Kevin Costner one for sure.
There's a Brittany Murphy doc on it, Max too, a new one.
But for Brittany Murphy, oh man, her and her husband, they both died of pneumonia.
I seen it yesterday.
The creepiest human being ever. I watched that documentary and I just find him so creepy.
Yeah, he made me uncomfortable for her.
I just feel so bad. She was surrounded by so many creepy individuals.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously we watch that happen all the time. Look at Brittany. Look at poor Brittany.
Yeah. So few people get out of it. I think that's why I root so hard for Justin, is because he kind of looks like he's getting out of it. Like, he's got a good wife. He's got a kid now. Like, he's doing his thing. He's not involved with like Hollywood so much. I mean, it's so hard to get out of the loop of the just disgusting people in Hollywood that if you can, you should.
Yeah. I mean, it's so, well, guess what? Welcome to the age of, you could just step into Hollywood and sell your face to whatever and be animated. You don't even have to be really there anymore. You can just be,
yeah.
You could just be
That's
AI.
true.
They aren't going to need real actors. So maybe all this abuse can end.
Very true. Well, I mean, if you ask Elon Musk, then yes, everyone's going to be obsolete pretty much.
I don't want to live in that world.
I do kind of want to live in the world, though, where in Black Mirror, they had like the walls that were like huge screens.
Not me.
Where they
I like the world I live in now.
Oh, yeah. That world's cool, too. But I mean, if we're going to get taken over by robots, I'm just joking. I'm just kidding.
Robo world is not for us, right?
Yeah.
The crazy world that we have at the moment. It's, we're live and in color and just as loony as ever.
Mm-hmm.
So what's next for us? What are we following? What's coming up? What are you guys looking forward to?
We got Karen tomorrow.
Ducky, what are you looking forward to? What should we cover? What are you guys into?
Yeah. Did you watch that wacky lady I was telling you about who hired the guy to kill her husband? That was insane. That was
Which one? There's like a lot of ladies that hire
I
guys.
can't believe that's such a good point. I actually, when I was watching it, literally thought that exact thing and then thought, that's kind of an obtuse thought, but it's really not. Like, there is a lot, and it's kind of gross, and it's kind of a surprising, how they always say like women are always poisoners.
I Yeah, well, Kouri Richins. Yeah.
Yeah, be careful. Like the lady who killed people. There's been 2 cases of people trying to kill people with foods, right? Mushrooms and something else.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not totally sure.
There was a lady who recently killed somebody in her family, killed people in her family with poison or something in their food. That was recently, and previously there was somebody in Australia who did it. I think that with mushrooms, with some poisonous mushrooms. Yeah, because that sucks. I don't know what the other American person did, and we could look that up at some point. But this was the Australian person. The mushrooms. When you eat poisonous mushrooms, you don't die. You like slowly die. You don't know you're dying.
How awful!
And then you can't fix. There's nothing you can do.
How awful!
Yeah, it's terrifying.
So what are you most into right now, Sophie? Like what cases like gripped you the most?
I definitely I want to make sure that Karen is not just like hamstringed into this case again. And then I'm also wondering what's going on with Ann Taylor, if what she's doing in the next 2 weeks, whatever her schedule is.
You want to Frank's hearing? Yeah.
I'd like to know anytime any of those hearings are made public. I'd like to know about that so I can go down there.
Eric, what about you?
Well, we got Emily tomorrow, Karen Reed on Friday. I don't know. It's what it was. I don't know. Would it probably Diddy?
The Diddy case, yeah. Because we're basically in trial prep for all these trials. Like we've got the Karen Reed trial coming up pretty quick here. We've got the Diddy trial coming up pretty quick here. So I think a lot of our updates are going to be kind of just a lot of like the outcomes of hearings.
I have been watching ASAP Rocky too. That's
have you watched it?
I have.
Apparently, Rihanna's going to be testifying in the next couple days.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I read that today too.
They definitely have a lot of evidence, and it looks interesting. They've got a lot of interesting people. It's kind of like that last what was that Rico case? The
Young Thug.
Yeah, the Young Thug. That's what it was. The Young Thug case. That whole thing. There was a lot of really interesting characters on the stand of people who were telling their stories, and even the guy I listened to today, he was talking about how he was trying to get in between the 2 guys who were fighting, and you can see it on camera and stuff. And it was really, it's really interesting. I don't know enough about it yet, but it's
I don't know anything about the ASAP Rocky case. I haven't looked at it at all. So,
but you know what I heard too? Jay-Z's hanging out in the Hamptons, hiding out.
Oh,
that'd be the spot to be.
Yeah, he's hiding out there in the winter. In the winter, it's a good spot. Yeah.
When is yeah, that's cool, Ducky. When's the is the Kansas Moms wrap up is coming up too? That's gotta be.
Oh yeah. That must be a big one for you.
That's in March, I think.
Yeah. So who are you following? Like, who do you watch for your info? I know Carrie's got really good info. Derek's got info. Every so often, Police Off the Cuff follows it. I know Annie Elise has done a show on it. Like, it's hard to know because I noticed when we followed the Kansas Moms case, we watched Nancy Grace on it, and it was like all wrong, all factually wrong.
Yeah, the moms totally burn out. What about Karen Reed's going to be really interesting, and it was all factually wrong.
Oh yeah, it's going to be really good.
Yeah, Melanie Little's really good at covering that one. She's got Mark Bedrow a lot. Really like Young Jerks. Really like Emily D. Baker. Really like Lawyer You Know. If you just need a wrap up or
I love Lawyer You Know. Yeah,
like those are really good channels. They've like taught us a lot about just like the voir dires and like the various different like.
I like Runkle, but I haven't seen him. He's got to be doing Karen again. The Runkle on over the Bailey.
Yeah, he's a Canadian. He's awesome.
Emily's going to be real good tomorrow. We might even be able to recap that. With Kouri Richins, there's a lot of suppressed evidence they're trying to get rid of.
Yeah, we may be able to recap that actually. Yeah, it should be good.
Are you into the Kouri Richins case, Ducky? We kind of just covered it tonight, kind of for the first time, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be a really big case, and it's pretty interesting.
She's kind of devious.
Yeah.
You can tell she's devious.
Looks so innocent.
Mm-hmm. You should totally try to get into court for Diddy. We want Eric to get into court for some good too.
Yeah, I gotta cancel jury duty.
No.
I gotta get the surgery. I can't.
I know. I told you that happened to me that one time. You know, it's the only time I've ever been called for jury duty. I've lived here for 20-something years, almost 30 years. I've been called for jury duty once, and it just happened to be when I had broken my wrist.
Yeah.
But it also was around Christmas time, and I think the judges were taking a break.
Oh, they'll call me back.
Oh, yeah, you definitely get called back. Nothing new in Kansas Moms till April and May. Yeah, I couldn't remember. It was when the next, oh, man. Yeah, I can't wait to watch. I can't wait to watch Granny.
Oh, Ashley, Ducky wants you to repeat what you said.
She's at work, so she's muted.
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't know
She'll
what she said.
she'll repeat herself when she gets back here in a second, Ducky. Yeah, I was wondering that. That's going to be incredible to watch. To watch Granny and Tad, is that his name? No, I'm forgetting people's names.
Yeah, Tad. Yeah. Well, it's only those two. The other ones are guilty, right?
Yeah, I mean, but they're not going to get as big because Grice just took the brunt of everything. Yeah, huge jurisdiction. June 4th. See? When's yours, Eric? Wait,
What?
June 4th? They give you that much notice, Ducky?
When's my what? Oh, my February 10th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's
Or do you mean June last year?
it's way too soon. I'm out of work till April 18th.
His beard is gross. It's true. Yeah, until April. Eric's
Yeah.
going to be our number one sleuth now because he's got all this extra time on his hands. I'm going to make a too much time on your hands video for you. You got all the time in the universe now.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know about. I feel like the Diddy thing is like not soon enough because
None of it is soon enough.
I feel like there's like so much involved in it, and 10 years. You won't be called back for jury duty for 10 years. Gotcha. Oh, yeah, Eric. How often have you been called for jury duty in your life?
I've been called a lot, but I